Well, welcome home, Mrs. Bishop.
Welcome home, Ernest. 1,000 welcomes.
I'll just go and get the bags in.
Everywhere looks lovely. Ernest.
Oh, it's all very tasteful. It was what I said. If you want the thing done properly, go to the professionals. Oh, well. Home at last, eh?
Yes.
No more drafty hotel rooms.
Sniggers over the breakfast table.
Nosy chambermaids. I wonder how it is they always seem to know.
A sort of unmistakable radiance, I imagine.
No, more likely the telltale confetti all over the bedroom floor. I was trying to work out where it all seemed to come from. You happy now?
Yes, Ernest.
Oh, are you two back already?
Where do you spring from?
Upstairs. Just finishing off, you know.
Finishing off?
Decorating.
Decorating?
Oh, of course, you wouldn't know about it, would you? I mean, you've been rushing about that much, we haven't been able to catch up with you to tell you about it.
Tell us about what?
About the decorate. Shall I start at the beginning?
I think you'd better.
Yes. Well, after you'd gone, we got a message for you from the decorators saying they couldn't start for another couple of weeks.
Oh, yes.
Well, we thought that was a poor sort of homecoming present, so a few of us got together and did the job for them.
Oh, yes.
Is it all right?
It's first class.
Lovely.
Yes, thanks very much.
Oh, yes, thank you. It would have been a real blow if we'd come home and found nothing done at all.
Ah, well, it kept us off the streets for a day or two, you know. I'm only sorry we haven't finished yet.
Not finished?
No, there's a couple of rolls to go on in the bedroom still. Anyway, I'll go do it now, and then you can start putting your clothes away. Have you had a nice time?
Oh,
yes.
yes.
Thank
very
you.
much.
Good, good.
It's the most stimulating the Derbyshire countryside at this time of year.
Oh, yes, you can't beat the countryside, you know, at this time of the year.
No.
It's true. Very true.
Anyway, I'll go finish this, and then you can get cracking. Put your clothes away.
Hey, have you heard then?
Ah, not 10 minutes since.
Not only heard, Hilda, but seen with us very own eyes.
What?
Well, she was wearing a big smile and a pink dress and coat, and he was wearing an even bigger smile and a sports jacket.
Oh, do you think she's losing her grip, Hilda?
Do you reckon?
Well, I can remember the time when the blade of grass couldn't move without her knowing about it.
Do you think it's her age catching up with her?
No, it's them lace curtains she's got at the front windows. It's that long since they've seen soap and water, they're beginning to fog her vision.
Here, don't be so flaming cheeky. I had them curtains in the wash not last week.
No, not last week, nor the week before, nor the week before that.
I'd like a bottle of stout when either of you two can fit me in.
You speaking to me, Mrs. Sharple?
Well, I'm not talking to Minnie Colwell's cat.
One bottle of stout.
If it's not inconvenient.
I think that's what first attracted me to this job, you know. The chance to meet such lovely, friendly people.
True.
Were they all right then, you know, when you saw them?
Well, it's funny you should ask me that, Hilda.
Oh?
Because you see, it was the very first thing that struck me.
What was?
Well, just between me and you, like, I wouldn't like it to go any further.
Oh, no, won't breathe a word.
Well, to me, just looking at them, like, they didn't look any different.
Oh.
Please.
I'll be back in a second.
Gin and tonic and
Yeah,
a pint of
that's
bitter. Right.
I suppose you'll have heard, will you?
Yes, Hilda. I even saw them arrive. Just not your day, is it, somehow? Well, of course, some of us have got better things to do with us time than stand gawping out of us windows all day, haven't we? That's right. Some of us have, love. What's your excuse? Hello.
Hello.
I'm sorry.
Yes, well, to every life, you know. Pint of bitter, please.
Look, I'm just getting them in for Alan and myself. Will you have one with us?
I'd rather sup on my own, thanks, Elsie, if it's all the same to you.
Oh.
Never mind, love. He'll come round when it's his time to.
What's up?
Oh, let's go sit down.
What's the matter now?
Me and my big mouth.
Come on, then.
So she's gone then, has she?
Yes, that's right, Mrs. Sharple. So if you get on the blower quick, you might still get it on the front page of the Evening News.
Oh, well, one of you showed good sense, I reckon.
Look, it's none of your flipping business, all right?
Oh, dear.
Well, I don't know why you should blame yourself. I mean, she asked you for your advice and you gave it to her.
Only she didn't ask, did she? I just volunteered it, didn't I?
It was good advice, wasn't it?
Well, How should I know? I just thought they might stand a chance to be happy, that's all.
Well, then.
Look, most of the world's troubles are caused by people giving good advice that they haven't been asked for, and folk always take it the wrong way. Take Ray, for instance. Seems to think I've been talking against him, when in truth it was the other way round. I just thought that they might be happy together.
Well, so they might have been. Don't know about the kid.
Yeah, well, I don't know the kid, do I? But I do know them.
Look, Elsie, you're not telling me that she wouldn't have she was going to take your advice or my advice or anybody's advice. People only take advice when it's what they want to hear, when it's what they've decided to do in the first place.
I see she's back, then.
Who?
Emily Nugent as well, she's back. Well, now what have I said?
Oh, well.
You know what's missing with your team, don't you?
Well, I can think of one a few things like Georgie Best for a start, but go on.
Yeah, well, you're living in the past, you know, and that won't do, that won't. And that's what this library book's all about. For a start, look, what formation do you play?
How do you mean?
Well, 4-2-4, 4-3-3, or what? Because, you know, it's formation that win football matches these days. 5 forwards and 6 defenders, well, they win out with baggy drawers.
Well, what formation do you suggest?
Well, your team has a problem at back, eh?
Got a problem at the front and the middle, too.
Yes, well, so what you want is the 4-4-2 system, ain't it? You know, 4 fullbacks, 4 floaters, and 2 front runners.
No, well, I'll remember that.
You haven't the faintest idea what I'm talking about. I can tell that by the look in your face. Hey, look, now then. That's the goalpost, right?
Right.
That is the goalkeeper. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's your first line of defence. And that is the ball. Now then.
Anybody home? Ah, Ray, come in. You're just in time to hear Uncle Albert's definitive lecture on the merits of the 4-4-2 system at soccer with the aid of a library book and a Bobs with the chips.
Oh, you don't take the notice of that, do you? It's a load of codswallop.
You what?
Continental systems, Albert. Flaming rubbish.
Oh, you think so, do you?
I know so.
Right, well, answer me this then. What were it won as the World Cup in 1966?
And what were it lost it for us in Mexico?
A lot of blooming Mexicans with big hats and spurs, walking up and down outside our hotel the night before the match with Germany, banging dustbin lids.
Oh, any excuse. Listen, in the days of Matthews and Finney, there was no such thing as systems, and they was the finest team in the world, bar none.
And you know why, don't you?
Because they had flair.
Because there was nobody else in the blooming world knew how to play.
Listen, you can't whack having 5 goal-scoring forwards up in that box. It's goals as win matches.
That's true.
Yeah, and it's letting goals through as lose them, particularly if it's 9 at a time.
That's true, too.
So you don't know what the blooming heck you're talking about.
Listen, I'll tell you what I do know.
What?
It's them flaming fancy systems of yours as is ruining the game today.
Ah, well, there's only 2 things that's ruining the game today.
Oh, go on then, go on.
Too many fellas that look like sissies on the field, and too many fellas that talk like sissies off.
Hello. Seeking inspiration from above?
Hardly.
Well, what's the matter?
Well, nothing's the matter as such.
How do you mean?
As a matter of fact, I'm very fond of purple in its place.
Purple?
Yes, although I must say I was wondering why you didn't mention it, or was it meant as a surprise?
Mention what?
Changing the colour scheme for the ceiling from white to purple.
Oh, I didn't change it. I thought you changed it.
Oh, I never changed it.
Oh. Anyway, it's certainly different.
Oh, it's certainly that.
Can't be all that thick on the ground, can't purple ceilings?
It's a very fashionable colour at the moment.
Oh, yes, yes. I suppose it all boils down to, do you like purple ceilings or don't you?
Quite.
I loathe them.
So do I.
Oh, you noticed, have you?
We're just marking on it.
What do you think?
Remarkable.
You don't like it, do you?
Oh, I wouldn't go as far as that. No, it's not the thing you notice particularly, the ceiling.
I told you wouldn't like it.
Her?
Mrs. Walker. It was her idea.
Oh, so it wasn't a mistake then, as such?
Oh, no. No, we were following your colour list, you see, but when it came to the ceiling, Mrs. Walker sort of vetoed white.
Oh.
Well, she thought white was a bit dull.
Oh, well,
I see.
You must have bothered about it. I mean, you know, not in the sitting room. If it was in the bedroom where you're lying in bed looking at it all the time, it'd be different.
I suppose you could put it like that, aye. Anyway, I'll go finish off and then. Won't be long now.
Dull indeed.
Like it's going to be one of them Saturday nights.
What Saturday nights?
You know, them Saturday nights that feel like Sunday afternoon, and a mucky Sunday afternoon at that. You know what I mean?
No?
No, well, of course you wouldn't. You're always unconscious in the chair, sleeping it off, aren't you? Well, don't just sit there like the rich man Stanley Ogre and think of something.
What do you mean?
Well, think of something different for me to do.
Pictures?
Oh, well, going to the pictures these days is like visiting the sick. Something else.
You want to do something different, right?
Right.
Right, something you've never done before. You haven't done for a long time.
Definitely.
Right, come on, chop, chop.
Where to?
Home.
Home?
Stop at Jackson's Chippy on the way.
Well, what's different about that?
When was the last Saturday night you spent at home with fish and chips from Jackson's Chippy?
There's a match on the telly, isn't there? I can see by the gleam in your eye.
Elsie, that's a
I know.
terrible thing to say. Hello, Mrs. Ogden.
Evening.
You're very pleased with yourself?
Ah, well, I know somewhat what you lot don't know.
Well, hurry up, Hilda. The beer's going flat.
Let's have it. Don't keep us waiting. I don't see why I should.
Come on, Hilda, drop the other one.
Come on, Hilda, stop standing there like 1 o'clock half-struck. Put us out of our misery.
Oh, there are some things a person likes to keep private, you know. Oh, what's up with you? I've been taking the tablets or something. It's not like you to keep anything private. I'm just not saying out, and that's that.
I shouldn't, Chuck. Keep it to yourself.
Oh, be like that, then.
Elsie, you know that woman in Bessie Street, Mrs. Johnson?
Yeah.
Won 30 quid at bingo.
It's about my Stanley. He's been made an offer, a very good offer. Just goes to show my Stan's no stone jug.
30 quid?
30 quid. Thursday. Fabulous.
Look, you just sit down over there. I'll get him in this time. 2 small ports, please.
Blimey, you're fishing outside territorial waters, aren't you? I thought you two had a permanent booking Saturday nights down at the Red.
Well, in normal course of events we have.
Oh, trouble?
Sorry, love, I can't talk about it just now. Not publicly.
Oh.
Let's just say my friends had a bit of a disagreement down there. It's left her with no alternative but to walk out. And as her best friend, the least I could do was walk out with her.
Oh.
So you enjoyed yourself then,
Oh, very much.
despite the weather?
Oh, it didn't really bother us much, Mrs. Sharples. We weren't really out in it all that much.
No?
Oh, what I mean is we were sightseeing most of the time during the day. Churches. The churches of Derbyshire reek of history, don't they, Ernest?
Oh, yes, absolutely redolent.
Oh, well, it takes all sorts, I suppose.
Mrs. Sharples, was there something special you wanted to see us about, or is this just a social visit?
Well, if you mean have I come tooting to see if one of you's grown 2 heads? No, I've not, Ernie Bishop. There's something I want to know.
Oh?
I take it there's a committee meeting on Monday night.
That's right.
Right, then there's 2 things I'd like you to fetch up.
Look, Mrs. Sharples, it's been a long day for Emily. I was just wondering, could you make a list?
If you like. Have you got a piece of paper and a black lead?
Pardon?
Well, I can't scratch it on the wallpaper with my fingernail now, can I?
No, what I meant was, could you do it over the weekend and let Emily have it first thing Monday?
Are you trying to get rid of me, Ernie Bishop?
Oh, come now, Mrs. Sharples. Ernest never said that.
No, Ernest never said that, but that's what Ernie meant. Now, I'm looking after Emily now, Mrs. Sharples.
Oh, well. A nod's as good as a wink.
Oh, Ernest.
It's all right, I'll soon mop it up.
Oh.
So much for a nice quiet evening in front of the telly.
I think they do it on purpose.
Do what?
Helen, have you ever noticed when you go kaput, it's always 5 minutes after the shop's closed on a Saturday?
Well, I didn't want to watch the match anyway.
Oh, no. I noticed that, the way you dragged me home at the rate of 19 miles an hour from the Rover's return. Well, I just have to sit here and try to rediscover the lost art of conversation.
You want to bet?
Hey, I wonder what we used to do. You know, before telly, the nights we stopped in.
We had the wireless, remember? Used to switch it on. Valentine dial, appointment with fear, variety bandbox, penny on the drum.
Yeah, I'm afraid I don't remember. That's all before my time.
We could go back to the Rover's return, you know.
Oh, no, you go. I can't be bothered.
On the other hand, we could pop across and arrange an impromptu welcome home for Ernest and Emily.
What a very good idea. Only I don't think they'd like it very much.
come in.
It's only me.
It's Mrs. Ogden, Emily.
Oh, you're still up then, eh?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm sure you've got better things to do than sit talking to me, but I had this idea, you see.
Idea?
Yeah, when I was in the chippy, I thought with you being away you mightn't have an out in, so I brought you a couple of bags of chips.
Oh, thank you.
What a kind thought.
Yeah. Not like fish and chips for keeping your strength up.
Oh.
I'm very partial to fish and chips, you know, especially with bread and butter. Oh, don't go to any trouble. A couple of slices would be plenty. So it's all behind you now then, eh? Your honeymoon.
Yes. Would you like a cup of tea?
Oh, well, if it's not inconvenient.
No, not at all.
Pity about the weather for you, though.
Yes.
Still, like the song says, never mind the weather, never mind the rain, long as we're together, whoop, she goes again.
Quite.
They're quite big houses, these, aren't they, when you look at them?
Yes, they're more than adequate.
Room for expansion and all, should the need arise.
I'll just get another cup.
Just as I expected. Very edgy. Comes as a shock to some people, you know. Marriage and its responsibilities.
Have the same again, please.
Don't you think you've had enough for one night?
If I thought that, I wouldn't be asking for another pint, would I?
Yeah, but making yourself ill with drink, I mean, it's not going to do you any good at all.
There's the words of wisdom, will you? If I want that, I can always go and buy Chairman Mao's little red book, can't I?
I was only trying to help.
Yes, well, I didn't come in here for help. If I want help, I can go to the Samaritans. Now, do I get a pint?
I'm sorry I spoke.
That makes two of us.
Of course I knew, you know. Oh, yes. We need to sort Monkey Pot's still on the table. I thought he'd got Monk on him. Discommoded, you see. He's had to get his own tea ready for once.
They don't know they're born, do they?
What? And then when I saw him with his arms round that thing, big thick lips and dangly earrings.
She's very gypsified looking, isn't she, Cheryl?
Mine in best room. He's never been in best room with me, not since we were married. My God, the nights I've been stuck in that vault darting.
Makes you wonder whether it was deliberate, doesn't it?
What else could it be but? It's typical of him, that is it, it's typical.
Well, never mind, love, it'll all blow over.
Blow over? I'll blow over. I'll blow him up, and that Cheryl Crowder of the lips.
Well, he's just that age, you see, isn't he? I mean, there you are, you think they're past it. Next minute they're in best room with their arms round a bit of crackling.
I'll age him when I get him home tonight.
Anyway, you left him nothing short, love. You did quite right walking out.
Well, I had to, Edna. I mean, I had to get out there and then. If I'd stopped another minute, I wouldn't have been responsible. Felt like ripping that frock right off her.
Well, she hardly had it on, as it was.
But wouldn't you think that when I did get up and walk out, at least I could have done what I says up?
I say, Ken, how's that little football team of yours getting on?
What have I said? What have I said?
Keyword.
What keyword?
Football.
Oh, I don't think I'm with you. Shall we start again?
Yeah, with Uncle Albert.
Oh.
Yeah, it sets off this trigger mechanism, you see. You've only got to mention the word football, and he goes on for 2 hours in a monologue about everything from corner kicks to banana shots.
Oh, I see. Well, don't look now, but I think you've got company.
Hey, Nelly, where was I?
Oh, no.
Oh, still at it.
Aye, it's taken a bit longer than I thought. They're very funny walls in these houses.
Yeah.
Still, if a job's worth doing...
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Oh, watch where you put your feet there. That's where the paste went over.
Oh, yes, I see.
It'll soon mop up, you know.
Will it take much longer, do you think?
Oh, I shouldn't think so.
No. It's very good of you to give up your Saturday night for us like this, really.
Oh, I think of the money I'm saving.
You must be spitting feathers.
I am a bit.
I was just wondering, if you'd like to finish it in the morning, you'd still have time to get over to the Rovers for the last half hour.
Do you know, I think I'd rather finish it now. Well, I've got everything laid out, like.
Anything I can do to help?
Yes, you can grab hold of the end of this wallpaper when I finish pasting it. Oh, heck, have you got in it?
Looks like it, yes.
Oh, dear. Isn't it funny how these sticky patches have a sort of magnetic attraction?
Yes. For new bedroom slippers, yes.
At this time of night. Sorry to
Edna says that we've got to come and try and see you because you probably know what to do.
You've had trouble like
Just
this
a minute,
before,
just
haven't
a
you?
minute. Now, one at a time. Who has left who?
I've left our Jack.
Well, she couldn't do anything else in the circumstances, Elsie.
Under what circumstances?
Well, he actually had her in there with him in their house, eating chips.
Off my best plates.
Oh, I do.
Cheryl Crowther.
Oh, the flaming ex had Cheryl Crowther when she's at
Well, he
home.
was groping all over in best room at Red.
His rotten fancy woman,
His
that's
little
home.
budgie.
Oh, and my best room were all crumbs and disorder.
Oh, yes, she's wiggled her way into our
Will
full
you
of furniture.
shut up a minute? Now then. Now, shall we start from the beginning?
No, let me brush it, Annie. You'll get finger marks all over.
Well, get it smooth for you.
Ah, well, just get the bubbles out.
All right.
Cocoa, anybody?
Oh, not for me, thank you, Emily, love.
No, I'll wait for mine, love, thanks.
More haste, less speed.
Now, let's get this straight. When you came home, Cheryl Howe's your father was there, right?
Right.
Well, what did you say?
Now, I said. What do you think you're doing, I said. What's it look like I'm doing, he said. I'm eating me chips.
Sauce. Go on.
Right, I said, well, you can get flaming Gypsy Rose Lee out of here for a start, I said. Because we don't want us tea leaves reading tonight. If you're referring to my friend, Miss Crowther, he said, she'll go when I tell her, not before.
My friend Miss Crowther, mind.
Tell her to go now, Jack, I said. She'll go, he said, when she's eating her chips, because she has paid for them, after all, for both of us. Oh, I said, it's like that, is it, I said. Right, I said, either she goes or I go.
Oh, what did your Jack say then?
He said, good night and God bless.
Chicken monkey.
I'll go and put the kettle on.
Oh, not for me, Elsie, love. I'd best be getting home. Fred'll think I've left home and all. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow, love.
Oh, just a minute. What about Ivy?
How do you mean?
Well, where's she stopping?
Well, I mean, I can't take her home tonight. She can't go home after what's been said on both sides.
Well, where is she going to stay?
Well, she could come to us, only Fred'll not have it. Jack and him's on the same darts team.
I see.
It's difficult, isn't it? Knowing what to do for best.
Isn't it?
Anyway, good night, all.
Just a minute. You could...
Quiet, isn't it? Shh. What is it?
Ship.
Ship?
Yeah, on the canal. Hooted 3 times. Means it's going through a lock.
Oh.
Yeah, hooted 3 times. Did you hear it?
You can sometimes when the wind's in the right direction.